Welcome to MedAiid, a company that is on a mission to revolutionize the way medical professionals and AI companies work together. But we know that growth and progress don't happen overnight. That's why we are committed to pivoting and adapting to the changing needs of the healthcare industry. We believe that learning and understanding are all essential to our success, and we are constantly striving to improve in these exact areas. One way we do this is by using videos to help us understand complex concepts and ideas. Videos are a powerful tool because they allow us to see and hear information in a way that's easy to digest. Along the way, we learned so much and adjusted things as we got feedback to make good content for you, the viewer. In the past 2 weeks, we had already created a lot of videos for you. First, we hosted a Hangout video where we discussed the importance of healthcare data privacy. This is a topic that became increasingly relevant as technology continued to advance in the healthcare space. Next, we interviewed a pre-med student to get their perspective on the future of medicine and how AI would play a role. After that, we hosted a webinar where we went in depth on what MedAiid was all about. We discussed our goals, our team, our plans for the future. And finally, we published an opinion piece that explored the importance of interoperability of medical data. We believed that by working together, we could create a more efficient and effective healthcare system. Thank you for joining us on this exciting journey. Now I'm going to let my teammates share some critical lessons they learned along the way. David, I'm going to pass it over to you.
Thanks, Sanzala, for that very encompassing overview. Thinking about how we pivoted from our original Hangout video, we will first reflect on it. When I was editing the video, the quality and lighting looked perfect. Every time I exported the video, the lighting got extremely bright and the quality was reduced. This was very frustrating as I tried editing the video and it looked as though the quality was fixed, but the issue kept recurring when exporting. Another complication was that since the healthcare tech space contains very nuanced topics for the majority of our group, it was challenging to memorize most of our talking points. We used the scripts to help guide our discussion, but didn't realize it appeared as though we were reading directly from them. We identified that this represents a lack of professionalism and overall knowledge. After we received numerous amounts of feedback from viewers, we decided it was best to tackle these challenges head on and repost a new and improved video. We didn't have the ability to reshoot a video, though I found ways to fix these issues as best as I possibly could through different editing techniques. To improve the lighting of the video, I kept making changes to the brightness and sharpness until it looked as clear as possible. In order to test if it worked, I had to export the video several times, which may have not been the most efficient way of handling this, though the result turned out fantastic. To make it appear as though we memorized the entirety of the Hangout, I thought it would be best to remove the laptops entirely from the scene. In order to do this was challenging and required doing massive amounts of due diligence to find out a way to do this. I eventually found a way to do this, and in doing so, I overlaid a duplicate video on top of the original footage for each scene, and then used this masking tool to mask the color of the table, and then resized this tool and directioned it on the table to make it appear as though the laptops were hidden. There was a laptop or two that was still in the scene from doing this, and it was impossible to really fully mask, though I found a solution for this as well. I placed an image of the logo in front of these laptops, and I know it looks a little bit awkward and may or may not distract the viewer from the video, though I think it beats the alternative of us looking at our computers directly and reading from a script. And I think we can acknowledge that these fixes may not be perfect, but they are definitely a considerable improvement to the original video. Now on to Evan to speak about his portion of his pivot for the interview.
So thank you, David, and hello, everybody. So I'm going to kind of take you through the thought process and what I think I could have done differently while making the interview video. So first off, unfortunately, we were not able to schedule the interview to be in person, which would have been ideal. She was a student at Penn State, and obviously the distance makes things hard. We tried to schedule it for over break, but that didn't end up working out, so we had to make the most of using Zoom. So I kind of started off by asking some broad questions, mostly about her experience on the pre-med track in undergrad and what she kind of feels, or what she's kind of expecting going forward, heading into postgraduate medical school. Ask questions like, as an undergrad, what skills have you learned to help manage time and stress effectively? And then I kind of dived into more specific questions later on in the interview, such as, do you think patient data should be shared if it is in interest of the greater good? Obviously, that's a very heavy question, very specific, an ethical question. There's no right or wrong answer, really. Kind of just depends on your perspectives. But looking back, I think I could have asked more specific questions going down the line. I think it could have been more insightful for the audience, for sure, and for me, our company as well. But overall, I would say it was a positive interview experience. I still think there was a lot of valuable insight discussed during the duration of the interview. So I would say it was a success. Definitely some places that I could have improved, but overall, I think it was good. I'll now pass it on to Cameron.
All right, so thank you, Evan. Now let's get into our original commercial, as well as how we reworked it following feedback from our audience and user base. So we started by trying to find inspiration from other tech companies like Fiverr and Grammarly, which we believe have fun and engaging commercials using quick shots, strong visual imagery, and voiceovers. We then laid out a framework by constructing a script using parts of Hanzala's pitch and working in the problem and solutions throughout. I then took this script and put scenes to it using my own imagination, and I was trying to be as bold as possible. So I knew I would need some shots of, Hanzala and me studying at the library, as well as B-roll for the rest of the given concept of the commercial that relied heavily on real medical professionals being in the shot. So from there, Hanzala and I shot a lot of our footage at the Hillman Library, as I said before, and felt the footage turned out pretty good. I lined up what I could, given the B-roll we filmed ourselves, and Hanzala also did the voiceover. And then I had to fill in the rest with professional B-roll from online. I spent hours searching for this B-roll and hours putting it together. I also took the time to find a royalty-free song we could use that I felt lined up with our video pretty nicely to give it some great pacing and, in my opinion, a great feel. However, following customer feedback, we realized that our commercial used too much B-roll and we did not shoot ourselves enough and didn't actually allow ourselves to fully tell a real story that the user could connect to. So we went back to the drawing board and I came up with a different script that I would provide the voiceover for. And this time the story was about us, the founders of MedAiid, and how we needed something like MedAiid to study for our upcoming MCAT exams. It allows the target user to see a relatable problem they may have and how they can solve that problem. And most importantly, relieve themselves from the problem and the stress they face while also trying to improve the medical industry, a win-win in our book. And so from there, the script focused on struggles and hopes of getting into a good university following the MCAT exam, as many medical professionals face. And with us now, being happy that we were able to find such a great resource like MedAiid. So while the commercial maybe didn't really focus on the product as much and didn't explain it as well, we feel it makes for a much more engaging piece of content that will keep the target user paying attention for much longer because they're actually able to relate. So in other words, it's less of a pitch and more of a trailer. We also color corrected the footage this time and used minimal B-roll, not shot by us, only where necessary. So I do feel the product turned out much better this time, and it's definitely something we're all proud of. So with that, I'll say thank you for listening, and I'll pass it back to Hanzala to wrap us up.
Thank you, Cam. As a team, we were on a mission to revolutionize the way medical professionals and AI companies work together. But we quickly learned that growth and progress don't happen overnight. The healthcare industry is constantly evolving, and we had to be willing to pivot and adapt to these changes in order to stay relevant and make a real impact. For example, we did things like leveraging PowerPoint slides in Adobe Premiere Pro to make a video more engaging rather than just narrating slides. One of the biggest pivots we made was in the way we created and used video. At first, we focused on creating long-form content like webinars and interviews, but we quickly learned that shorter, more focused videos were more effective at communicating our message. We also learned the importance of staging and setting up sets for increasing our production value to make our videos look more polished. For our commercial, we paid attention to every single detail, from the lighting and the background to the props and the wardrobe. By taking the time to set up a professional looking set, we were able to elevate our video and make it more engaging for our audience. But it wasn't just the technical aspects of the production that we learned from. We also learned the importance of collaboration and teamwork. By working closely with medical professionals and AI experts, we were able to better understand the needs of our target audience and create tools that truly made a difference. Overall, the MedAiid project has been a learning experience for our entire team. We've learned the importance of pivoting and adapting to change, the power of video as a communication tool, and the value of collaboration in driving progress. We look forward to continuing to learn and grow as we work towards our mission of revolutionizing the way medical professionals and AI companies work together to improve outcomes for patients just like us everywhere. Thank you for watching.